but also the Vishnu Janas became very dear to him. The devotees of the Lord, who do not wish to kill the individuality of the living entities and who desire to become personal servitors of the Lord, do not very much like the impersonalists. And similarly, the impersonalists who desire to become one with the Supreme are unable to evaluate the devotees of the Lord. Thus, from time immemorial, these two transcendental pilgrims have sometimes been competitors. In other words, each of them likes to keep separate from the other because of the ultimate personal and impersonal realization. Therefore, it appears that Srila Sukadeva Goswami also had no liking for the devotees. But since he himself became a saturated devotee, he desired always the transcendental association of the Vishnu Janas, and the Vishnu Janas also liked his association, since he became a personal Bhagavata. Thus, both the son and the father were completely cognizant of transcendental knowledge in Brahman, and afterwards both of them became absorbed in the personal features of the Supreme Lord. The question as to how Sukadeva Goswami was attracted by the narration of the Bhagavatam is thus completely answered by this sloka.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anything you want to share, Prabhu, from this?
Yeah, from what we have read here, uh, first thing was that right in the womb itself, uh, Vyasadeva knew that he was going to have a son who was going to be transcendental. And that son was Sukadev Goswami. And Vyasadeva gave him the knowledge of the Bhagavatam. Initially, Sukadev Goswami was uh, was more an impersonal Brahman. He was attracted to the Brahman. But once he got the knowledge of the Bhagavatam, then he realized that there is a transcendental that the transcendental features of the Lord, that he's a person and he's a figure who is transcendental. So then he got attracted, went from the impersonal Brahman to the liking the supreme, because we know that whenever there's the sun's rays, then it has to come from the sun. Similarly, we have here the impersonal Brahman is just it's the Brahma Jyoti of the Supreme Lord, and the person, the source itself is the Supreme Lord. So once once Sukadev Goswami got attracted to the Supreme Lord, and he also attained this by associating with himself with the devotees. The more
Yes.
he associated with the devotees, the more he liked. So these are some of the things that we already do. That's why we constantly have the weekly satsang and so on. We try to associate with the devotees and try to, through their association, try and understand more and more about Krishna. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Roop Prabhu, you want to share anything that you read from this paragraph?
Yes, Mataji, sir. Sure. Glory Sir Prabhupada. Really, that there's more besides the impersonal feature of Brahman is what I got from this verse. Like I said, I've only read up to the third canto so far, or the first canto part 3, so I'm not really well versed in the Bhagavatam yet, but I am getting the conception.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, whenever you read, if you want to share any point that strike you or you want to share, you can share. You are free to share. If it's not like you don't feel like comfortable, then you can just read it and then we can discuss that.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So in the shloka, in the last verse we thought like why Shukadeva Goswami is elevated devotee, why do we need to read Srimad Bhagavatam? Here it is also mentioned that he is not only transcendently powerfully elevated person, but he is very dear to the devotees. So generally in the Vaishnava philosophy, we always connected with devotees. we don't do individually everything by ourselves. Okay, now we are connected, right? We all are devotees joined in a Zoom call. We are reading, we are sharing what Krishna Katha. We are exchanging the bhakti that we read in this Srimad Bhagavatam. We are exchanging the experiences, the realizations, and that what we understand from this, right? So this is always the association. So devotees love other devotees, that person also love the devotees. So it's kind of a mutual exchange. Okay. Machit, what is that shloka? Exchanges between the two. 10.9 actually, the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Dadati pratigruhnati guhyamakyati pruchati. This is from the instruction, extra instruction. So we always have to exchange the stories of Krishna and what we read. So here, Shukadeva Goswami, he's a liberated person, and he went the study of Srimad Bhagavatam and became very dear to the devotees, and the devotees also like him. Okay, so very, very important. He is a great person, not after he's born and he studied the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's not like that. Within the womb of the mother also, he's an elevated person. So we know that Vyasadeva wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you give one more example? Like, who is the person when he is inside the mother's womb who heard the Srimad Bhagavatam? Anybody?
Prahlad
Yeah.
Maharaj Mataji.
Yes, yes. So Prahlad Maharaj. So when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam within the mother's womb, so that is the seed that bhakti develops in the child. So when the child, if you are very, very passionate about some sport or something that you want your child become, so you have to keep making the mother listen to that kind of things. So if you want your son to be a devotee, to be a good person, and have a good culture, good things. So you have to start reading Srimad Bhagavatam in the babies inside the mother. Before conceiving baby also, we have to do the bhakti process, and we have to follow certain kind of ritual kind of thing, that is the Garbha Samskar they call. So this is very, very important. And here Srila Shukadeva Goswami is a great exalted person. Okay, so after he's, even though Vyasadeva is the great person, he is the narrator and he knows the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Shukadeva Goswami is a impersonal person. When he came out of his mother's womb, then he went out from his mother, from the house, and he was going into the forest for tapasya because he don't want to get attached to this material world. So even though he was a great elevated person, but he was not believing the personal form of the Supreme Lord. So not only Sukadeva Goswami, you see so many people who has so much philosophy knowledge, Vedas and Shastras they read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, you name it, so many scriptures they read, but still they don't believe that God has a form. Even though they worship the God has a form and everything, but they say Supreme Person is the impersonal Brahman. Brahma Jyoti is the highest. God doesn't have a form. But they go to temple, they worship everything, but they will think highest is the impersonal Brahman, the Jyoti, which doesn't have a form. But that is not the correct. When we read Shastras accordingly, when we understand the knowledge coming from the Guru and Shastric way, so Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is the source for everything. From him comes everything. Okay, so as Raghu Prabhu mentioned, so there is a sun god, sun planet is there, from the sun rays are coming from that place. Like that, Supreme Personality Godhead is there in Goloka Vrindavan. From him comes everything. From his body comes the light, the source of light, which comes from his body. That is the source of the impersonal Brahma Jyoti that we see. Okay, so this is the concept that we need to understand. Otherwise, we think whatever we know or somebody is telling that is correct, but we have to believe on the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Based on that, we have to have a knowledge. So here, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, so he became so much dear to Vishnu Janas. Vishnu Janas means Vishnu means Lord Vishnu, and Janas means the followers of the Vishnu. Those are the devotees of the Lord. So he became very dear to devotees. And one thing here it's mentioned, there is always a competition between the impersonal people and the people who believe the personal form of the Lord. It's called a personalist. So there is one time there was two people. There is one person who was seeking for the knowledge. So he went to he went to the sage who is not a devotee, who is believing on the impersonal form. So he went and he asked, okay, can you give me some guidance, like how I can progress in bhakti? So he said, okay, sit and do tapasya meditation, saying that soham means what? I am that, I am that. That means I am the Lord, I am the Lord, I will become Lord, like that. So then he was doing that. So that person went away, impersonal personalist. So then the devotee came. Then he came, he said, why you are doing that? You are not a, you are God, you will not become God. So you have to say different thing. So he said, I will be confused, I don't want many things. He said, you don't need to do that, I will just give you one letter before soham, you add that and you do what you are chanting. So he said, da soham, da soham, da soham. So he started doing that, da soham tapasya. Then this again the impersonalist came and he thought, I gave you different mantra, why you are chanting this? He said, this person said that this is the highest, this is the greatest. Then he said, no, that is not correct, I will give you one more. He said, I'm confused so much, this person, that person saying too many things. Then he said, no, I will give you one more letter, I will add, you just say that. So like that he's keep on adding, he's keep on adding the daso. Then the devotee comes and he will say, dasa dasoham, dasa dasoham. So become the servant of a person. So like that, always there is a competition. Some people think impersonalism is the highest, some people think personalism is the highest. But believing the Krishna conscious way, the Guru Tattva tells that Krishna is the supreme person, from him comes the everything. Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. So he is the supreme person, from he is complete, from him comes everything. So this realization comes when we come in the association of the devotees. So before also coming to Krishna consciousness, we were thinking, okay, this God is great, that God is great, we have to worship this God in that day. Saturday Vishnu, Saturday Hanuman, Monday Shiva, like that. We have so many devatas, 33 crore devatas. So we cannot satisfy 33 crores, right? That realization will come after coming to Krishna consciousness. And one more thing, realization is we cannot do bhakti by ourselves, we cannot progress ourselves. Okay, just one example I'm giving. So we have class from Monday to Friday, okay, mostly Monday to Friday. So Saturday Sunday we don't have. So how many genuinely you think about ourselves? Like myself also, I'm saying I don't read Srimad Bhagavatam in the weekend because I don't get time, and I don't feel like okay, this time I have Bhagavatam class, I have to sit. When there is a class, I will come and sit and read. Otherwise, I will hear the classes, but I can't sit myself personally and read and give time like this, right? So it's very, very hard. So we need the devotees association, then only we'll progress in bhakti. Otherwise, it's very, very hard. So that is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Anybody wants to share anything? Okay. Anybody else available to read next one?
Mataji, I'm available.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, can you read one time the slokam?
Sure, Mataji. Yes. परीक्षितोऽथ राजर्षेर्जन्म कर्मा विलापनं संस्थां च पाण्डुपुत्राणां वक्षे कृष्णाकतोधयम्.
Hare Krishna. Parikshito Rajarsara Janma Karma Vilapanam Samastam Cha Panduputranam Vakshasaya Krishna Katodayam. Translation. Sutta Goswami thus addressed the races headed by Saunaka. Now I shall begin the transcendental narration of the Lord Sri Krishna and topics of the birth activities and deliverance of the king Parikshit, the sage among the kings, as well as the topics of renunciation of the worldly orders by the sons of Pandu. Purport. Lord Krishna is so kind to the fallen souls that he personally incarnates himself among the different kinds of living entities and taken part with them in daily activities. Any historical fact, old or new, which has connection with the activities of the Lord is to be understood as a transcendental narration of the Lord. Without Krishna, all the supplementary literatures like Puranas and Mahabharata simply story or historical facts. But with Krishna, they become transcendental, and whenever we hear of them, we at once become transcendentally related with the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is also a Purana, but the special significance of this Purana is that activities of the Lord are central and not just supplementary history facts. Srimad Bhagavatam is thus recommended by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the spotless Purana. There is a class of less intelligent devotees of the Bhagavata Purana who decides to relish at one of the activities at once the activities of Lord narrated in the 10th canto without first understanding the primary cantos. They are under the false impression that that the other cantos are not concerned with Krishna, and thus more foolishly than intelligently to take intelligently they take to the reading of the 10th canto. These readers are specifically told here in that other cantos of the Bhagavatam are as important as 10th canto. No one should try to go into the matters of the 10th canto without having not thoroughly understood the purport of other 9 cantos. Krishna and his pure devotees like Pandavas are on the same plane. Krishna is not without his devotees of all the rasas, and the pure devotees like Pandavas are not without Krishna. Devotee and the Lord are interlinked and they cannot be separated. Therefore, talks about them are all Krishna Katha and all topics are topics of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Anything you want to share, Mataji?
Mataji, I understand that Krishna and devotees are interlinked and we should understand all the cantos before going to 10th canto, Mataji. That's what I
Yes.
and Puranas are linked with God, so we should understand those, and I'm listening. Correct me.
Yes. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Very nice. Hare Krishna. So in this, it's mentioned that Shukadeva Goswami thing is done. Now, this Shaunaka Rishis, we know that Shaunaka Rishis headed by some other sages. They headed to Sutta Goswami. They are asking Sutta Goswami. Here, Sutta Goswami is answering the questions of the Shaunaka Rishis. Okay. And here, Sutta Goswami is telling that now I will start narrating the glories of Krishna's Leela's birth and activities and pastimes. So here we are going to get the story about Krishna. Until now we did not touch the word Krishna, right? So we are hearing the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, how Narada Muni became in his previous life as a maid servant, maid's son. We are hearing all the things. Now with the real Krishna Katha will start from now. So here it is telling that so here different times Lord will come and he will come in different incarnations, right? So what is the shloka? Yada yada hi dharmasya gnanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmana sujhamyaham paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So to protect dharma, to kill the demonic people, to protect the devotees, I will come in different lifespan, different yugas, different leelas, different avatars, he will come, right? So by hearing the glories of Krishna, by hearing the leelas of Krishna means there is always the devotees. Krishna doesn't come alone. So when Krishna comes to incarnate in different avatars, different yugas, he will bring all his paraphernalia, right? When he comes taking the Leelas in the Vrindavan, he bought Govardhan, he bought the Yamuna, he bought Radharani, he got all his friends, Sakas and everybody. So Krishna doesn't like to stay alone. So as a devotee, we also always have to stay in association with the devotees. If we are alone and we think that we can progress in bhakti, we can do ourselves more saving time instead of for doing classes or hearing classes or going to the programs, and I have more time, stay at home and all. You cannot do bhakti without the association of the devotees. So we have a story of Bharat Maharaj who became a deer. How did he become a deer? When he left everything, when he reached certain age, then he gave all his kingdom and everything to his sons. Then he went to forest, so that he thought, okay, I will not have time in the palace, so I will go to the forest. I don't have any responsibility. There is no person to disturb me. I will be myself. I have more time to do myself, more meditation and things. So when he went and he get attached to the deer, there is no person to tell him that what he's doing is correct. So if we stay in a devotees association, we'll get some instruction, some guidance that what we are doing correct or not, so they can guide us how to progress in bhakti. If we have some attachments, they will help us like to get rid of those attachments so that we can pay more attention, we can save our time, and we can have our sense control, distractions, everything they will help. So that is the importance of association of the devotees. And here this Srimad Bhagavatam, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that this Srimad Bhagavatam is what? It's a spotless Purana. When we see a moon, there are some spots. When we see some person, there are some spots. But this Srimad Bhagavatam is a Purana which is called a spotless Purana. Okay, so there is no fault that you can find in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is full of nectar. It is very, very nourishing for our bhakti. Okay, but some people they will try to read Srimad Bhagavatam because it has the 12 cantos, and they think, okay, we have to know about Krishna because how did he born, why did he do dance with the gopis, what are the leelas he did, and also they want to know more about him without any knowledge, without becoming a devotee, without a prior knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So they will try to read the 10th canto. 10th canto talks about the Krishna Leela. So I remember last week our Roop Prabhuji is also saying that I read only a third chapter, but I did not go to 10th canto because 10th canto talks about Krishna. Without reading the first few cantos, we cannot go to 10th canto directly, right, Roop Prabhu? So the same way, like here, most of the Vaishnavas, most of the gurus mention that when we are in a neophyte stage, when we are starting the bhakti, so we are not supposed to read the 10th canto. We have to go from the first canto. First, we need to understand the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the importance, what are the devotees, and how the Srimad Bhagavatam came to existence, everything. Then we can understand the Krishna. Then we can understand his leelas, his activities. Then we will not misinterpret, or we cannot illusion who is Krishna, what is he doing. Otherwise, we do aparad. When we do aparad, we don't develop the bhakti in our heart. Okay, so it's a very, very important that we go in a stepwise process. Okay, so and it's also said something here, yeah, about the Pandavas, because here Pandavas, it's mentioned, right? Pandavas are always with Krishna. Krishna never left Pandavas, Pandavas never left Krishna, because devotee means always Krishna consciousness. When there is no Krishna, it becomes material. When there is Krishna, it will become bhakti, it will become transcendental. So we have an example of food, right? We cook food. So when we offer the food what we cook to Krishna, and after it's called bhoga. After Krishna accepts, then when it comes out, and when we eat that, it will become prasad, right? So without offering to Krishna, it's not a prasad. It's called just a food. It's just a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it's not a prasad. So when we offer to Krishna, it will become prasad. So everything will sanctify. When we offer this body to Krishna and we do everything, the spiritual activity, then it is called as akarma. So that we will not get any reaction by doing any kind of things with our senses. So when we do everything in keeping Krishna center, everything will be wonderful. By reading Krishna Katha, by reading scriptures instead of doing the material things, everything keeping Krishna center is very, very important. Even the Pandavas went through so many struggles, so many troubles in life. They never thought Krishna left them, right? Krishna is always with them in any kind of situation. So that's what we need to remember. Any kind of situation, we are not supposed to leave Krishna. So anything anybody wants to share from this? Okay. Anyone else available to read next?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, devotee, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yada yada mride kaurava srijayanam vireswa atho viragatim gatesu brukodara vidha gadabhimasha भग्नोर्दण्डे धृतराष्ट्रपुत्रे भर्तौ प्रियं द्रोणैरिति स्म पश्यन् कृष्णासुतानां स्वपतां शिरांसि उपाहरद्विप्रियम् एव तस्य जुगुप्सितं कर्म विगर्हयन्ति. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the respective warriors of both camps, namely the Kauravas and Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and dead warriors obtained their deserved destinations, and when the son of Dhritarashtra fell down lamenting, his spine broken, being beaten by the club of Bhimasena, the son of Dronacharya, Ashwathama beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered the heads as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana, however, disapproved of the heinous act, and he was not pleased in the least. Purport. Transcendental topics of activities of Lord Sri Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam begin from the end of the battle at Kurukshetra, where the Lord himself spoke about himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are transcendental topics of Lord Krishna. The Gita is Krishna Katha, or topics of Krishna, because it is spoken by the Lord, and the Bhagavatam is also Krishna Katha because it is spoken about the Lord. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone to be informed of both Krishna Kathas by his order. Lord Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna himself in the garb of devotees of Krishna, and therefore the version of both Lord Krishna and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are identical. Lord Chaitanya desired that all who are born in the India seriously understand such Krishna Kathas, and then after full realization preach the transcendental message to everyone in all parts of the world. That will bring about the desired peace and prosperity of the stricken world.
Yes,
Thank you.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, share Mataji what you.
Yes, Mataji. So in the here it is mentioned like after the Kurukshetra war, most of the warriors from Kauravas side and Pandavas side was tired. Then and Bhimasen also defeated Duryodhan by breaking his spine. Yes, breaking his spine. So and Ashwathama killed Draupadi's 5 son while they are sleeping, and he was thinking if he will kill, and he killed them, and he was thinking like Duryodhana, his master, must be pleased. But Duryodhana did not like this kind of cruel act of Ashwathama. And in the purport also mentioned we know like with Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the song spoken by Lord himself. So this is the song of God. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the pastime of Lord. So both scriptures are the teachings about Krishna, and we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also wanted everyone to learn this teaching about Krishna, like both Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and all one devotee should the devotees should spread the teachings of Krishna, spread the Krishna Katha. So, yeah.
Yes.
So, because, yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Please add and correct me.
No, Mataji, you did good. Thank you. So, what is the name of our chapter?
The son of Drona.
Yes. The son of Drona punished. So until now, we didn't have the name of Drona or son of Drona, right? Now this is the shloka that we got the name of son Drona son. What is the name of the Drona son?
Ashwathama.
Ashwath. So, so the chapter mentions Drona's son, but the original name for son is the Ashwathama. So what did he do? Because after Kurukshetra is the battle between the Pandavas and Kauravas. They are cousin brothers because they are not sharing the land. So then finally they thought, okay, battle is the only solution between the both brothers, cousin brothers. So then the fighting happened, and most of the Kaurava side, most of the people died. Dhritarashtra has 100 sons. All of them died except one. Who is left is Dhritarashtra's son, the Duryodhana. So Duryodhana has to be killed by the Bhimasena. Okay, Bhimasena. So then in the final stage, when everybody's died, so Duryodhana, he's lamenting so much. He's lamenting so much that everybody, even the Bhishma Pitamaha and Dronacharya, who is Ashwatthama's father, who is the teacher for Kauravas and Pandavas. So he also left. Everybody left, most of them. Karna, everybody is gone. Only Duryodhana is left. So he was lamenting so much. And Duryodhana is a very, very close friend of Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama likes Duryodhana so much because they gave them the chance to stay in their palace and teaching them. His father is teaching them and he was taking care of them. So Ashwatthama wants to give some gift because all of their family members died. So he wanted to give gift. So what is the gift? So he thought, okay, let me go and kill the 5 Pandavas. So how did he kill? Maybe they will explain the next slokas, we'll see. But very heinously he killed whom? The sons of Pandavas. He thought they are Pandavas sleeping in the tent in the night after the battle, but those are not the Pandavas. Those are the Pandavas' sons. Upa Pandavas they are called. So this is the very heinous act because killing the small kids is not a small kids means they are not very small, but killing the kids is not a one of the rule in the battlefield. That is against the law, against the culture, against the rule. So then even Duryodhana, he did not approve here. See, Duryodhana, however, disapproved of the heinous act and he was not placed in the list. So even Ashwatthama did this, he thought that Duryodhana will be pleased and he will be happy for this act, but Duryodhana did not approve because Duryodhana, who is Duryodhana? He is a Pandava's cousin, okay? Because Duryodhana, in their family, everybody is died. There is no next generation to continue their what is this called, their lineage. So in this side also, if we kill all the 5 Pandavas, Upa Pandavas, then how will the next generation will continue? How is the lineage will go? These are cousin brothers, right? So he did not he did not praise the act of the Ashwatthama here. Okay, so here it's mentioned the glories of Krishna started here. Why did Krishna come here? Because there is the battle. Battle means what happened in the battlefield of Kurukshetra? The Bhagavad Gita. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the battlefield, that Arjuna got bewildered that I don't want to kill my relatives and my friends are there, my niece are there, everybody is there. I don't want to kill even the Guru, my Dronacharya Guru is there. So he don't want to kill. So at that time, Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, that is called as Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna, that is Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavatam came almost at the end of this Kurukshetra war, that is the glories of Krishna. The Bhagavatam talks about Krishna and Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna. So there is a difference, you see, right? So this both are talking about Krishna. So Krishna gives philosophy and the knowledge that's called as the life manual in Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavatam, it is the loving exchanges between the Krishna and his devotees. Okay, so here it's mentioned about the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna. Okay, so he came as a Krishna, but he comes as a devotee. He comes as a devotee to relish the glories of Krishna. So that is the glories here. And Lord Chaitanya desired that all who are born in India seriously understand such Krishna Kathas and then after full realization preach the transcendental message to everyone in all parts of the world. Yenakena prakarena mana Krishna niveshaya. So that will bring about the desired peace and prosperity of the stricken world. So generally, like when we don't have Krishna consciousness, then what will we do? We do whatever our mind says, whatever our senses is, wherever our senses are dragging us, we do. But when we come to Krishna conscious, what will we do? We try to control, we try to restrict our mind, we try to restrict our senses. We don't want to give more enjoyment for senses. We try to engage the senses in the Krishna way. So that is the very, very important of coming to the bhakti process. So this is very, very glorious. At least people who are born, there are people who are born in different countries, they are taking Krishna conscious very seriously. They are dedicating their life for bhakti. People who are born in India, especially, they need to take very serious, because at least they know who is Krishna from by their birth. They know who is Krishna, what is his Leela, they know about Bhagavad Gita, but many people don't read it. So that's why it's very, very important. Who knows the knowledge of Krishna? So they need to understand, then they need to preach. Ours is called as a preaching mission. Srila Prabhupada always says, even the 5-year-old kid can also preach in bhakti. So Srila Prabhupada asked, Prabhupada generally when he do any program, so devotees make cookies and they will keep a big plate of cookies or some sandesh or something, the sweet rasgullas or something. So after program is done, katha is done, everything. So then people will come, kids will come and everybody will come. So Prabhupada will give them the sweets. So then one time one person, new person came, he will tell, who is Krishna? Srila Prabhupada. Then he will call that girl, small girl who is 5-year-old or 4-year-old. So he will call and he will ask, okay, can you tell who is Krishna? Then that girl says, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Prabhupada gave her the cookie and he said, see, even the small girl also know who is Krishna. So we have so much knowledge. We have to use that knowledge to understand who is Krishna. Then our life becomes perfect. So, okay. Anyone else? Who did not get chance? Anybody wants to read? Sundari Mother.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Anand Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Can you scroll little down? Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad pranam all Guru Shri Srila Prabhupada. Mata Sisunam Nidhanam Sutanam Nismaya Ghoram Paritapyamana Tadarunadad Vaspa Kalakulas Lakshi Tam Santvayan Kirtanamali. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You are reading this, Prabhu?
No, Mataji, English.
English only, okay.
Translation. Draupadi, the mother of 5 children of the Pandavas, after hearing of the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress with eyes full of tears. Trying to pacify her in her great loss, Arjuna spoke to her thus.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. You want to say anything, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, in that particular situation, after the incident happens, right? He was in a disguise that he is killing Pandavas. But even he is unaware of that, he is killing Upa Pandavas. Unless, Duryodhana did not like it. And then even Aswadhama, he have done a mistake, right, Mataji? But after that, here in the war field where all these Upa Pandavas were killed, Draupadi, the mother of 5 children, right? We know how much pain it will be losing all the kids in the same time. So Arjuna will be trying to pacify her for the loss.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, as Prabhuji shared, like Shiva Draupadi as a mother, like you can imagine the loss of her children. Yes, not 1, 5 at a time in the same time. So, and not like a natural death. Somebody did that. So it will be more painful for a mother to lose her kids. So she is very, 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 very sad that she is lamenting, and Arjuna, to pacify her, Arjuna is talking to Draupadi. Okay, when sometimes kids cry, right, because of the brothers fight or something happens, like some ant bite or something, we will tell that we will take care of them nicely. So we want to soothe them so that they don't feel more sadness. Otherwise, if you keep on trying to hurt them, they will feel more sad. So here Arjuna is consoling the Draupadi. we'll see how he is doing that. Okay. Yes, Subala Prabhu. Anyone else?
You want me to read?
Yes.
Hare Krishna devotees, the Nityanam or Krishna Sri Prabhupada Guru. Tada sauchaste pari premanjane bhadre yad brahma bandha sirahata tayanya gandiva mukte vivishke upare tvakamya yad sannyasi daktaputra. Krishna. Translation and purport by Sri Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O gently lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahmana, after beheading him with arrows from my Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then, after burning your sons' bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head. Purport. An enemy who sets fire to the house, administers poison, attacks all of a sudden with deadly weapons, plunders wealth, or upsets agriculture fields, or entices one's wife is called an aggressor. Such an aggressor, though he be a Brahmana or so-called son of a Brahmana, has to be punished in all circumstances. When Arjuna promised to behead the aggressor named Ashwatthama, he knew well that Ashwatthama was the son of a Brahmana, but because that so-called Brahmana acted like a butcher, he has taken as such, and there was no question of sin in killing such a Brahmana's son who proved to be a villain. Krishna, such a wonderful purport here. So, as we can see that the aggressors are the ones who are um, all of a sudden they attack with the deadly weapons, plunders the wealth, or upsets the agriculture fields, and or takes away others' wives, or aggressors. In fact, we can see that the Kauravas, especially Duryodhana, was always an aggressor. Since when Pandavas and Kauravas were small, he always wanted to kill the Pandavas. He tried to poison them, he tried to burn them, he tried to take away their, wealth, everything. But here, in this circumstance, in this situation, we can see that Arjuna is taking a oath that he will behead Ashwatthama. And here it says that even though he's a Brahmana, because he is an aggressor, it is a rightful decision to punish him and behead him, because he did not act as a Brahmana. He acted as a butcher, and killing such a butcher is not a sin.
Yes.
So that's why it is. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So if we see like in our society also, when somebody do some mistake, any mistake like against the rules and rules of the government, that like killing somebody or stealing something, doing any kind of heinous act, what did their government do? Government give him the punishment. Government doesn't see he's which country he belongs to, his caste, which caste he belongs to, and which religion he belongs to, he's a believer of God or not. The government doesn't see anything in the background. They will just see what is the act that he did, and for that kind of severity, he will get the punishment for that. In the same way, in this here, what Ashwatthama did, killing the Upapandavas, the sons of Draupadi's, it's a very, very heinous act. So here it's mentioned that there are different kind of acts. Actually, when we see this Pandavas, they went through so many sufferings, especially this Duryodhana. He was always inimical towards the cousin brothers of Pandavas. He was always mistreating them. He did everything to make them go down. So he put a fire he made a lac house, and so that they can get burnt live by putting a fire. But at that time, who will help from that?
Vidura.
Krishna.
Vibhishana helped to get them out of that. Krishna ultimately, but Vibhishana helped
Vidura,
Vidura, sorry,
Vid-
Vidura, correct. Vidura helped them to get out of that. He will send a messenger to in the night to go away from that place. So because Duryodhana's plan, Vidura knows, so he sent them away from that place in the night. So and they put poison in Bhima's food, right? When he was young, they were in the learning archery something. So they will put a poison in Bhima and they will put the Bhima body in the water. But again he came out, there was a story for that. So but he became more stronger, Bhima, because of this the snake god they lived right underwater, so they will give them the more power because he drank poison, he went to the Nagaloka, then this poison got retracted, he got more strength, so then they got attacked with the weapons, right, deadly weapons also they did that. And here they took away the wealth and everything from the Pandavas that belongs to Pandavas. Okay, so and they dragged the Draupadi into the Sabha, and bringing a lady in front of everybody in a very like a not a respecting way. That's also very very bad thing. So these things are done by who? Only the aggressors, the bad people who do all kind of these things. And after doing all these things, still they are not stopping, even though many of them died in the Kauravas side. Still, they want to torture or trouble the Pandavas. So here Ashwatthama is doing that. What is the thing that Ashwatthama belongs to? He is a Brahmana. There are four varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So Brahmanas are considered as the topmost or highest of everything because Brahmanas have the knowledge. They read the Shastra. They have the knowledge. They know what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do, and they have to teach others by their example. But here, being a Brahmana son, Ashwatthama, he was doing the wrong act here, killing the Upapandavas. It's a very, very heinous act. So if somebody do this kind of act, so you are not supposed to see he's a Brahmana or Brahmanas or anything, that you have to get up, give him the punishment. Otherwise, the society people will start doing the wrong things, right? In India also, one time when the five men troubled the lady, so the police took that boys into the forest and he shot them on the spot. Because if that thing will not happen, then what will happen? The other people will also try to do the wrong acts. To minimize the wrong things, what will we should do? We have to give the proper punishments, and anybody gets a thought of doing that, they will get scared. Okay, so we have so many things happening in this world. So if we have a punishment, then people get scared. Otherwise, they have a freedom to do anything, whatever they want. So here Arjuna is telling that we will give a proper punishment for that Ashwatthama. So he is assuring the Draupadi in this verse. Okay. So we'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. Anybody has any questions or anything to share from today's topic?
Not really, Mataji. I just wanted to thank you for the class. I just wanted to say that I have read a couple of literatures in my day, even though I'm still young. And I know that the three greatest boons are one, being born a human, second, being born in a Brahminical family, and third, being able to associate with devotees. I can say that even after reading the Quran and the Bible, all those other literatures, I still felt like there was something missing until I found Krishna. And once I found Krishna, that feeling of something missing, nothing's missing anymore. I feel like I'm
Yes,
complete and whole in a way. So I just wanted to share that with you. And again, thank you for the
yes,
class.
it's wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu. You made my day. After finding Krishna, something I'm missing in my life. After finding Krishna, I'm not missing anything. So that's wonderful, amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I have a question, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, you told that like Duryodhana was not pleased with the heinous act of Ashwatthama. You told that because his lineage, he killed the sons of Pandavas, which was not like it was not good. But the thing is, Mataji, Duryodhana did a lot of wrong work. Like he did very wrong to Draupadi and with all the Pandavas and their families. He did lots of cruel act. But I was just wondering how this kind of person in this stage is so compassionate about this son of Pandavas.
Yes, yes. So because they're not in a like that kind of age they reach that they need to go to for fighting, right? Which is against the act. Killing the small kids, it's not a according to the rule, right? So he was following the rules. Even though he was fighting, he don't like the Pandavas, but he was following the rule of battlefield. Like they have to do only when there is a sunlight, the yuddha, the battle. So when after sunset, they are not supposed to do that. After sunset also, Pandavas, Kauravas, they were talking nicely. They were going to each other's tent, like Bhishma Pitamaha also. Pandavas are going to his tent and talking. They are having dinner and everything was there. But they are following according to the culture and things, right? So here killing the small Pandavas, and he know that there is no lineage because in his side everybody's died. There is no
Yeah.
no person, right?
Yeah.
From Pandavas side, only the Upa Pandavas are there. If they are killed, so he know that because we know that, right? Like in our lineage, every like at least we need to have a son to continue that generation because they are Kshatriyas, they are the kings. If Upa Pandavas died, there is no person to carry that lineage. So when you don't have lineage to carry, how do you do the Pitru Tarpana? How do you do the rituals and everything? How will you satisfy your Pitrus in the Pitruloka? So based on that concept, he was thinking that. And on one more concept is that because of their children, they are small kids, they didn't do anything. If they are like, see, Abhimanyu, they kill in a wrong way, but they did it in the battlefield. But
Yeah.
these are sleeping Upa Pandavas in the tent he killed in a wrong way just to prove that he was pleasing the Duryodhana. So that's he did not please Duryodhana.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Then we can stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveda Gaurav ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Thank you, devotees. Take care. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.